All right, guys, we're live. What's going on? It's me, Jay, aka the Ink Jedi here. I'm not alone today. I'm joined with my brothers in arms.
Yo, 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 it's your boy the Boogeyman 718, aka El Boogiano.
Go ahead,
What's
Conker.
up? What's up? Oh, I'm Chad, Canadian Geek. What's going on?
What up? I'm Julian, aka Conker76.
Oh man, thank you guys for joining us tonight here live on YouTube. We have a pretty good show planned for you guys today. Again, thank you for tuning in. Ask us your questions on the comment page on YouTube. We'll make sure to get to them as we go along. Pretty good week, man, today. This week, Spider-Man came out for PlayStation. This game has been highly regarded and also very sought after as far as like it actually coming out. I remember watching the trailer at E3 a few years ago and thinking that, man, this is incredible. I'm gonna shoot it over to Conker, man. Conker, you have the game, man. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Tell us how you like it, things like that.
Yeah, man. Well, I picked up the limited edition PlayStation Pro. I upgraded from my regular PlayStation for it. So far, I think I'm about 30% done with the game, and it's awesome. Like, it really is everything you wanted in a Spider-Man game. And, obviously you've got your main story, which, without giving anything away, as I said, I'm 30% in, and yet everything you've seen in the trailers and everything, I haven't even touched.
Wow.
There's a bunch of side missions, like you've got to find locations that you actually take photos of to actually build your map. You don't get given your map or anything. You actually have to build it. Then, obviously, I think it's set 4 years after Peter Parker has actually become Spider-Man. So he's been Spider-Man for a bit. He's already has all those enemies as Kingpin and such. So you come into it and like you have to collect backpacks with memories and stuff in them. And so there's, I think, something like 55 backpacks scattered throughout the whole city that you collect memories and they build and stuff like that. But man, I'm loving it so far. It's a really, really good game.
That's awesome. As far as like Easter eggs and like little nods to like not the MCU, but as far as like Marvel itself, as far as like landmarks or places that us as comic fans would be familiar with. Chad, have you seen any of that in this game?
Yeah, when we were talking about it before we started the podcast, I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan. I know probably what the general populace knows, maybe a little bit more, but it's cool. Like so far I've come across. I went and looked out. I found Ben Parker, his uncle. I found his tombstone. You find the Avengers building, the Sanctum Sanctorum. You find, and I've been told, and it's very like accurate to what New York actually looks like. So I saw the Freedom Tower, and I saw certain buildings that are actually there. So it's pretty cool. And he'll talk. J. Jonah Jameson has like a podcast or has like a radio show that you can listen to while you're playing the game. So it's really cool, especially for someone who's not a huge Spider-Man fan, but like when I notice something, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that's what that is. And so it's very entertaining. It's built a lot like the Batman Arkham City or the Batman Arkham games, whereas like the fight engine and how you swing along the buildings and the general gameplay, it's very entertaining. I think I'm about 15%.
Wow. I heard it's a very long game. Someone told me, getting all the side quests done and the missions and stopping the crime, it's about a 30-hour game to do that. Question, is there a season pass that comes along with this game?
Yes, there is. It's what I think there's 3 parts to it. I think it's $24. Mine came with it because if you bought the digital, the deluxe version, it came with the season pass. There's 3 parts to it. One comes out November I think October, November, December. There's 3 different parts to it. The developers or anything haven't said how long that is going to be or anything like that, but so definitely interesting to more content actually gets added onto it.
Right, and that's the thing with like the season pass too. Like, you get all this additional content. Later on in the game, it keeps you playing. It keeps the game fresh. I'm sure, like somewhere in there, I'm gonna try to pick up the game maybe next week. I'm sure there's gonna be some really good hidden Easter eggs. Rocksteady was really good at actually doing that for like the first few Arkham games. There was like hidden rooms, hidden doors, hidden characters, and
new suits.
Yeah, new suits, things like that. As far as like someone asked, Andrew asked, is the game only for the Pro or just for 4K graphics? I guess he's meaning it's just for Pro, or can you just play it on your regular PS4?
As long as you can play it. Now, I will say, as I said, I bought the Spider-Man Pro, and I do have a 4K TV, and the graphics are badass. Like, some of those shots when you're swinging through the city, they're beautiful shots.
They look movie quality almost, like you're playing Homecoming almost.
Pretty much.
Right, and that's always been the thing with Spider-Man games. They were always really good at like getting, even the earlier games, at getting like locations correct. Having the Empire State Building or the Twin Towers, and things like that. They've always been really good at generating those graphics to match the actual city. So that's, being a New Yorker, it's pretty awesome to go around and like swing by Central Park or Chelsea, or check out Uptown or whatever. So that to me is what I kind of like to watch or play when I'm playing the game.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a bunch of like as you said, there's a bunch of Marvel Easter eggs, I guess. Things. So you run into the Avengers Tower, you run into the Rand building and stuff like that. So there's a lot of, like, as I said, you have to look for locations. So there's a lot of locations that if it's based in New York in the comics, I haven't covered everything yet, but I'm sure it's going to be in there. So I guess we'll see on that part.
And that's what I'm looking forward to too, as at least a video game, as a comic book fan and a video game fan. Especially with Marvel's Netflix, how popular they've been. I'm really hoping that based on how popular this game is, I hope not only in the future games, because there will be more. I'm hoping not only will we see like Venom and Carnage and other. They could be in this one. I don't know if they are though. I'm only 50% in. It would be cool to see. We'll get to see other Spider-Man enemies in future games, but it'd be really cool to see some of those other characters like Daredevil and Iron Fist and Jessica Jones, even for like a side mission, for like 10 minutes or something. It'd be kind of cool to see if they interconnect those characters with the video game, since they're able to.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of sweet. It would be kind of sweet if you could like, run into like other heroes, maybe assist them on missions, or interact in that kind of way. Like I said, I haven't played it yet, so I don't know what kind of things to expect. But I would assume like if Sony, wants to really build this brand up, I would start doing things like that.
Yeah.
Well, we were Chad and Steve and I were talking last night, and we said it'd be cool if like they did a co-op for it, and like you can say if they brought like in Spider-Gallus or anyone like that, and you get to play with your friends as other Spider-Mans and other Spider-Man characters from the universe. We thought that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, you can play as Black Cat, or you can play as like even Daredevil, or someone that was in the comics with him a lot of the times would be kind of cool. Or even play as Venom. Like, how cool would that be? You got some side mission you got to do, and one of you gets to play Venom, one of you gets to play Spider-Man. That'd be pretty sweet.
That would be cool if they have something like right before the Venom film comes out, maybe like an extra add-on, or a update that lets you wear the black suit, I think that would be great. I mean, even incorporate shit like Carnage or, I think that'll be awesome. But it's definitely
There's
something
such
I'm
a deep
looking forward to.
well.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
It'd be awesome if you could bring the black suit in. Even if it's just a black suit and you're still Spider-Man, but there's 27 suits in this game.
That's sweet.
It ranges from they've got the homecoming suit, like the homemade suit and stuff like that, to the Infinity War suit, to like even the classic comic suit they put in there. So I don't know, like as you said, nice patch or something before Venom comes out would be awesome. So
guaranteed they will.
Let's hope so.
Oh, you're guaranteeing that, Chad.
Venom's out next year, right? Venom's out in the spring, right? Next year, or is it out this year?
No, it comes out next month.
Okay, so if there's an October patch, I bet your Venom will be in it then. At least a skin for this black suit, at least at the minimum.
I mean, it'll definitely keep a game interesting. Like to me, I don't like a game that's just like a one and done, right? That's why I started playing Division, because they constantly added different things during the year. That's why I played Destiny, because they constantly added things throughout the year to keep the game fresh, to keep the game interesting.
Yeah. That's the new thing. That's where almost every video game that's an open sandbox type game, like Grand Theft Auto, Destiny, Red Dead Redemption, Spider-Man, Far Cry, all like those games are built for DLCs and extra add-ons, and it just keeps people playing, especially the ones you can play online with other players. And that's just again it's such a moneymaker for the studios. They don't mind doing it because they know that it's going to sell. So.
Absolutely. Awesome. So you guys definitely suggest that people pick this up?
Oh, totally. Sell your Xbox Ones. They're useless. Get a PS4.
Never.
Get Spider-Man.
Never.
Yeah. Definitely worth it. It's especially if you're a Marvel fan. You'll see a lot of things in there that will bring you joy, because it's just nice to see in the game. Small things that you might not normally see in other games, because there's such a big universe when it comes to the Marvel universe, and now they're putting little bits and pieces. So no, definitely recommend it.
Awesome. So Sony,
that's pretty dope.
Sony, we just plugged your game, so send us money to my PayPal. Appreciate it.
Right.
Awesome.
Right. And I ain't selling my Xbox One, and I'm broke, son. So I ain't playing that game anytime soon.
You can't picture playing video games.
I can't picture a lot of things with you.
Yes, you can. Oh man,
Weirdo.
so this week we got some pretty big Captain Marvel news. Actually, it wasn't more like news; it was more like stills, more pictures from a magazine, just showing different. Actually, I'm gonna put it up, show everyone. These were the photos that came out this week. You have Captain Marvel, you have Nick Fury with hair, you have Marvel, you have a scroll on the beach. Looks like a cover of an album. You have Carol Danvers sitting in a jet, and Carol Danvers with pretty throwback 9 Inch Nails shirt. She's also
all of those memes were hilarious, by the way.
They were freaking incredible. She's also wearing a shield hat. And then she's, of course, wearing her Captain Marvel getup, full uniform, which looks actually really good, as far as like color and being really close to the comics. And then here you have her walking with a couple of other people as well. And then one notable figure is, I forget his name, but he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was the guy that Drax ripped that thing in his head off from. Korath, yeah. So yeah, guys, what do you guys think of this Captain Marvel movie that's coming out? Just based on some of the photos, I guess we got to see.
Yeah, I don't know. I am honestly, we're 10 years into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm really now. Granted, they're probably due for a bomb, but I'm really surprised the amount of people who are like, "Oh, this movie looks like crap. This movie doesn't look good." I'm just like, really, 10 years in. And you guys are still like not even giving the benefit of the doubt to say, yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. They've taken lesser characters like Guardians of the Galaxy and made awesome movies with them. So I'm excited to see because I don't know anything about Captain Marvel or Captain Marvel, so I'm really excited to see or interested to see the correlation of the storylines, because in the one picture he's sitting there with Ronan the Accuser, who was the bad guy in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then like you said, like you said, Jay, Carol Danvers is in that little group with Korath, who was also one of Ronan's henchmen in Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm really hoping that we see, or at least they kind of hint at the seeds of why they at least go bad, or they kind of turn against the good people. So I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's really going to be good, and we get to see Phil Coulson's going to be in it, and we get to see circa 1992 Sam Jackson when he had hair. So
yeah, it does look pretty sweet. Conquer, man. What are your thoughts, bro?
I'm kind of the same with Chad. I really don't know much about whole Captain Marvel and stuff like that, but obviously I'm excited for a trailer. As I think everyone is. They look awesome. But Chad's right. We see all these characters that they look like they go hand in hand with her, but yet in Guardians or in other things in the universe, we've seen they're not good, they're bad. So definitely interested to see how that works, and obviously, awesome to see Coulson back in the MCU, and I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to it, but we've yet to really had a bad Marvel film. Yeah, some haven't been overly great, but as Chad said, some people really aren't giving it the benefit of the doubt. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it though.
Boogeyman.
Well, like anything, people are always going to hate, period. Honestly, I think that of most of the pictures that have been released, it definitely indicates that there's going to be a big origin story involved with this movie, which is natural because it's the first Captain Marvel movie. So when you're looking at these pictures and you're seeing all these throwbacks, like, Samuel L. Jackson with hair, I think some people are looking at it like, is this whole movie just going to be explaining where Captain Marvel came from? Is there not going to be any action? Just speculators, But I have faith in Marvel. They're very well known for telling the backstory of a character and really showcase.
Iron Man comes from. We know where Captain America comes from by now. We
Right.
know where Spider-Man comes from. I mean, not a lot of people, like Chad said, and I know Chad is very knowledgeable when it comes to a lot of things, comics, and Julian is, and Boogie is. A lot of people don't really know the story of Carol Danvers. How did she become Captain Marvel, and get to see her go through that journey? And it feels, just because you have her flying planes, and then you have her like in a green uniform, and then you have her in a Captain Marvel uniform. So I feel like in that movie we're going to be able to see her transitioning into who she becomes. And I'll be damned if at the end they don't show a cutscene of her arriving on Earth, and then maybe, I don't know, right now I think, who is it, Iron Man and
Gamora.
Gamora is there's no, not Gamora. Gamora's sister, Nebula. They're
Nebula, sorry.
stuck on Titan. So I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up going there and picking up freaking Iron Man. I don't know, but I feel like if they don't have something like that towards the end of the movie, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Hey, what the hell's going on?" But she's a big character. They basically give her own movie, and then she's gonna come into Avengers and basically save the day. You know what I mean? I really think that they're gonna really push her to the moon. So I'm hoping that and the Brie, what's her name? Brie
Larson.
Brie Larson. Yeah, I think she's gonna do a phenomenal job. I really think every time I see her talk about the character, she's very passionate about it. So I feel like she's definitely committed to the role. And if you have somebody that's committed to the role, they're gonna try to do their best to deliver. And like Julian said, like, Marvel really doesn't make bad movies. But I know some movies I wasn't thrilled about, but I still enjoyed. But I think this one is gonna be different. right? Because I don't think we're going to be able to have too many more Iron Man movies, too many Captain America movies. At some point, we're going to have to move on, and Marvel's going to have to branch out and give us new characters. And now that merger went through, and the buyout went through, I think we're going to see them incorporating a ton of new characters. And the day that we get a Fantastic Four, like, end trailer thing is the day I'm going to probably just pass out in the theater from excitement. Right. There will be one. I get if Marvel can't make a good Fantastic Four movie, then that's it. I have no more hope. And I've seen all
boycott.
Of them. Boycott.
Let's boycott them.
Hashtag boycott Marvel for doing that. Sweet. Good deal. It's definitely a movie I'm going to be seeing.
I'm excited. I got faith.
Well,
I tell you what, though, I am a little surprised that they went with a solo movie for Captain Marvel. I mean, just off the fact that she's not a super well-known character, you know?
I mean, they did it with Ant-Man, right? They did it with the Guardians. No one. I could honestly say I didn't see anyone saying, "Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy are awesome." You know, Marvel
but
just has a way.
Wasn't Ant-Man introduced in another movie though before he had his solo movie?
Nope.
No.
No? I could have sworn he was in he was a cameo in another movie.
No.
Nope.
He was in Civil War, but
that was after. Yeah.
That was after the fact.
Yeah, that was after the movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Great. You know, and I'm pretty sure before the next Avengers film, we'll have like a theory episode or things we want to see episode. So definitely looking forward to that.
I think the only person who we've seen, like the characters we've seen, that were actually mentioned in a movie before they were in a movie was Stephen Strange in Captain America: Winter Soldier when they got the bald dude up on the roof and Steve is asking about what's Project Insight all about. And he's going through the names. He's like, this person, Stephen Strange, you know, anybody who could go against us. I think that's actually the only person that's been mentioned before they were in a movie. At least in the current MCU. So, I think, don't, you know.
So, today, Boogie and I got to go to a little comic book expo here out in Jersey called the Clifton Comic Show. It's in Clifton, New Jersey. And so basically, it's a bunch of local sellers. Basically, they set up a table, they put out some books. You have some local comic shops there as well selling their wares. We were there for a few hours. It's free from 10 to like 3, 10 to 4, and then I think if you want to get in like 30 minutes earlier, it's like $5. So we went there. Boogie, do you want to talk about Clifton for a bit?
Yeah, let's do it. Clifton was at the Clifton Community Recreation Center on Main Avenue, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, Main Avenue. They pretty much, I mean, this one site, NewJerseyComicBookShows.com. It's like every month, I believe, there's a show somewhere. Clifton Comic Expo, I believe, is the biggest one out of all of them. Huge recreation center. There was tons of vendors. This one vendor, he had nothing but slabs. Like, there was no raw books whatsoever. Every single long box he had was filled with slabs. His wall filled with slabs. Anything 9.2 and up. It was absolutely ridiculous. You know, a lot of the vendors, very good prices, very easy to work with. A lot of them, they'll even accept PayPal. You know, you can friends and family them if you don't got the cash. Like, super dope people. And then, of course, you got your vendors who just aren't so cool. And they don't work with you. They don't give you any deals. Their prices are astronomical. And those are the guys that you kindly give them a fresh wrapped bowl of dicks. And you tell them to, you know, have fun. Chew up.
Yeah, man, pretty much. I mean, I've been going to them for about a year now, so I get to know some of the vendors really well. You can really get some good deals. You'll find some stuff in their bins too. Like today, Boogie was digging through some bins and he found something, and the guy was like, "Oh, that wasn't supposed to be there." And Boogie's like, "Well, it was." And he was like, "Oh, maybe I didn't look through them, enough." But that's the thing with these places: you never know what you're gonna find when you're digging through a bin.
Right.
There's one guy. He sits in the same place like every time we go there, and he only goes to Clifton. And if you look at his wall book, he'll have like a Showcase 22, High Grade, a Hulk #1, just all these high grade key books. You know what I mean? And then, but no one buys them because they're all like $25,000, and no one,
Right.
no one that goes to the show is gonna buy them. So at this point, I just feel like, all right, this dude's just bringing his comics to show them off to people because he knows no one in the show is gonna walk around with $25,000 to buy a book. But
Just whipping that big dick out.
Yeah, just like, look at my awesomeness, and he just sits there, bro. No one goes to his table. I was there for 3 hours today, and not one person walked up to him.
I went to his table.
You did? Did you buy anything?
Yeah. Hell no, I didn't buy anything. I didn't have that much money in the PayPal.
The cool thing is that you can meet a lot of people and trade with them as well. I've seen people trade some pretty big books. You have Anthony from Anthony's Rare Comic Book Art. He's there usually. He had a ton of books with him. I talked to him for a little bit. He's going to be going to the Baltimore show at the end of the month. And no, it was a good show. We had a good time. Wasn't too much that I was interested in buying. I picked up a couple of books from the bins. I got lucky and found some that I really wanted. Like I said, you have some pretty good vendors and you got some not so pretty good vendors.
Right.
It's usually pretty good. It's always a good experience. It was a good time. So next time I'm hoping we get some footage and maybe talk to some of the people there, because these are all old school guys. You know what I mean? Like, you go there, they're just people hunting. You know what I mean? They're digging through stacks of books. They have their search list out, and they're just going to work. It's really, really a fun little expo that they have going on in the recreational center. It's a good time. So we'll try to get some footage and talk to some people, and then throw that up on the YouTube channel so people could watch it and enjoy. These are the things that I enjoy doing. As a lot of conventions seem to be moving away from that sort of thing. We have these little shows coming up that their main focus is just comics, and I think that's more power to them.
Hell yeah! I mean, there was definitely like a lot of vintage toys over there too. What was pretty cool was that me and Ink are walking past this one table, and some dude was like, "Yo, Comic Book Fiend Club, what up?" And we were like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm on IG, Poison Dragon Bronx." I'm like, "Oh, sweet." And people that you've already exchanged words with on Instagram, like now you're meeting in person. I also ran into the homie that I've done a lot of business with, my man Lou, who's Comics for Sale, at Comics for Sale on Instagram. Cool guy, always easy to deal with. He actually gave me a good deal today on some nice books, man. A lot of people overlook these kind of shows because they feel like, they're small, hole in the wall kind of shows, but you can find a lot of jewels going to these shows, digging in these boxes. I mean, the one vendor, he had like, what was it, Ink, like 15 long boxes, and they were all marked $1. And like, I got some really cool books out of that, man, and I mean, I'm also not a huge key hunter all the time either. A lot of guys, they only look for major keys. That would be the dude that had the $25,000 books.
And you'll see it there because they'll have books that's like modern keys, Silver Age keys. Like, they know what people are looking for, so they just throw it in one box. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the beauty of these shows, man. You just go and they really, really will work with you on pricing. You know what I mean? Because they don't pay a ton for their table, so they're able to have a little more wiggle room when it comes to their prices. So yeah,
those Wolverine books you sent me, Jay, the picture that you sent with all those Wolverine books, was that at Clifton?
No, but that particular comic shop was in Clifton.
Okay, because he had really good deals. Like that Captain, that Wolverine, like the Origins with the Canada face. You look on eBay, that's usually about $100 book. And then that Origins one, the Mike Diodato cover you had, that's the variant. That's like a $60, $70 book. So you should probably give that to me as a gift, in Baltimore. But no, I'm just saying, like when I saw the price, I was like, holy, even 35. I was like, you look, even in Canada up here, it's like $100. So it's more than it's like twice more than double the conversion rate of that price of the book.
That guy has good deals. That guy has real good deals, man. And his shop was at that show.
Oh, okay.
So.
Do you Concord, Julian? Do you have any like little shows like that around your way, where it's just like little small comic setups where people sell books or trade books?
We had one. There was actually one on Saturday, and I couldn't go to it. It was called Free State Comic Con. It's like $5 to go into it, but it was like an hour and a half away over in Lawrence, Kansas. From what I've heard, it's a really good show. But that really is about it. That obviously I constantly looking online to see, if there are small shows like that, because I'd love to go dig through boxes. I try and dig through boxes at stores as often as I can. But that's really the only one that I know of is Free State Comic Con. They try and do it once or twice a year. And as I said, it was this Saturday. I'm fit, but so yeah. Obviously, if anyone's listening that you guys know others that are in the Kansas City area, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram.
Most definitely.
I'm up for it. So, but yeah, that's the only one I know of is Free State Comic Con. But as I said, I wish there was more.
Right, definitely. I wish there was. I wish that there was a lot more too, man. I mean, those little shows are the best. What about you, Chad, around your way?
Yeah, actually, in the last couple of years, there's been this company they're called Pulp Culture Canada, and every month they have a little Comic-Con in different, like there's where the city I live in is Oshawa currently. The city I'm moving to is called Coburg. They have one there in October. There's Peterborough. Like, it's all, you guys won't know all the cities, but it's like, if you got Southern Ontario, you have all these, small big cities, if you call them or whatever. And so yeah, every month they have another one, and it's a lot of the same vendors, but it's also a lot of new vendors as well. And they're good because they get to those people the younger crowd whose parents maybe, oh, sorry, honey, we can't go today. Dad's got to do this or mom's got to do this. We can't go. So it's nice that they have, one almost every month, because then they can we'll make it next month, and it's a lot of local vendors, and there are some pretty cool deals. I met one guy, he was hired, I can't remember his name, but he was hired by DC to re-ink and go over all the Jim Lee covers from Dark Knight Metal 3 into so they could re-put them out there for sale. So it was really cool. You'll see some really cool books and some cool talent as well. So
that's good, man. I'm really hoping that this trend of like little local show, like comic expos, start popping up all over the place, man. Because we need them. Honestly, we really, really need them. Sweet guys.
100%, we need them. It's if we could have more of these little shows. Especially nowadays, because so many of these cons, like, we all go to them, but some of them, like, especially your way, you guys have got Baltimore coming up, and then New York. Some of those shows are so hard to move at, and everyone's looking for the same thing. So unless you're first in there trying to get and find what you need, you're not going to have any luck. So these small shows let you do that because there's not as many people there. You've got that better opportunity to find that book that you're looking for, whether it's a Grail, a modern key, or even it's just a badass cover that you really want. And hey, hopefully these guys might have them. So these smaller shows, man, we need them. Like, we really do.
Amen.
And the more popular they get, eventually you will start getting artists to go to them. Local, even if you'll start at local artists, like Jim Zub. Okay, he does Wayward, and he's done Avengers and New Thunderbolts and whatever else he's doing right now. He's from the town I'm in, so he does a lot of those local ones. And eventually, you'll get guys like that who will say to a buddy like a David Finch or something who lives in Toronto or lives in London, "Hey, you do anything in a couple months? No, you want to just come out on a Saturday, come to this local show, man. People love it. Like, we won't get crazy, we'll give some free autographs and whatever. Okay, cool." and then you'll get maybe bigger retailers who come to the show but give a lot of good deals. So I think if these smaller shows can keep getting popular and keep the momentum going, I think it'll force the bigger shows, not all of them obviously, but some of the bigger cons in your areas to be like, okay, we need to change it up a bit because people are coming to our shows, but they're not spending the money like they used to because, Clifton Comic-Con last month, everybody's going to that, so we only got like half the people who come to New York Comic-Con. I'm just using that as an example because I know those names, but I think the more popular local shows can become, and they get bigger, but they stay with that don't get crazy on the prices range, they'll get more popular, and then the bigger shows will start to suffer because people will be like, well, no, I got my books, and I bought books last week, and I'm good. I'll go do something else next weekend instead of going to the con. So
I agree, and it's one of those things too. Like, Comic Cons are no longer Comic Cons, right? They're pop culture conventions. You know what I mean? They've gone so far away from its core. You know what I mean? Like, again, Wizard World was supposed to be used to be a pretty big comic convention. Now, I went to Wizard World Philly. There was like 4 sellers, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It's just slowly moving away from that. Usually when I go like New York Comic Con, you could walk the seller floor pretty easily when it comes to comics because people aren't there to buy comics anymore. That's why prices are through the roof.
And it's sad.
It's
sad, man.
It's really sad. You know what I mean? They're there for Pop Funkos, not even hating on that community, but that's the truth. They're there for pops. They're there to meet celebrities. They're there for special signings. You know what I mean?
Right.
So a lot of times when I'm on the comic book floor, it's so easy to move across because there's not as many people. What I do see a lot of is older heads. I mean, older than myself and probably all of us here because they're still into it. There's one guy I see every year and I say hi to him. He carries a suitcase with handcuffs. And that's just because he's trading books with people. He pulled out a Batman #1 and then did a trade like right in front of me. I'm just like, oh. But that's the type of guys you see now at these conventions. Just the older guys who know their shit and just there to make deals, to network with people. So that's where I tend to find myself a lot of times now because, these other people I want to learn from myself.
Hell yeah! I mean, the trade happened right in front of me at Clifton today. Guy was at the one vendor. I was going through his box. Another guy came with a little short box. They looked into it real quick, exchanged some books, and then he was like, "Yo, I just got these books. You want to check them out?" And I ended up finding a good homage cover, man. But I don't think that these smaller conventions are going to go that route when it comes to getting artists and shit like that because they want to keep it small. They want to keep it wholesome. The more people that you start bringing in there, the bigger venue they have to rent out. The bigger venue that they have to rent out, the more that they're charging for tables.
Right, but how cool would it be if like just one day we go to Clifton and let's say Neil Adams just shows up?
I mean, that would be dope.
I mean, not make it right, not like advertise these people, but yet, if you have like these surprise guests coming on, everybody's gonna be like, wow, maybe we should go to this con because this little expo because we never know who's gonna show up. That'll drive in some more foot traffic, and people will buy comics, bro. Then they're gonna go in there, they're gonna buy something, and that's true. That's how we keep the business moving, especially with these Marvel films. I remember like shortly after Black Panther, I went to Philly, and I went to some comic shops, and there were kids in there with their parents, like, oh, we just saw Black Panther. Where should we start? You know what I mean? That's what we need, right? To keep the thing we love going. We need to be able to grow the fan base and bring in new fans, right? Because before we used to treat comics like, oh, this is our thing. So if you're coming in and you just watch the movies, well, you ain't shit because you're not a true fan. No, let's start welcoming these people in, so that way the comic industry does better. So that way we get more shit that's good coming through the pipe.
Right. Yeah. And the companies realize it. The companies realize that shit because when you think about it, how many theaters did you go to when Black Panther was being released and they had free Black Panther comics that they were handing out to people? Or the same thing with Avengers, you know. And DC, if you ask me, they did it the best, man. Emerald City Comic Con, Jim Lee did this whole big panel talking about the importance of people actually reading instead of just watching these movies, and how they can get more of the story by reading the book than just paying for a movie ticket and watching the movies. That's why DC lowered their prices on all of their books. You know, their variants aren't so hard to get. They're trying to make the book itself more accessible to the people out there, and they're trying to target kids more too. You know, the whole Teen Titans Go thing. You know, now all of a sudden Marvel's doing the Marvel Adventures books that are coming out recently. You know, trying to get the kids hooked, and it's hard nowadays because there's so much more distraction out there. Every kid you see now is on a phone or sitting at home playing a video game. You know, I mean, shit. When I was a kid, I don't think I was ever home until the street light came on and you heard mom out the window, "Get your ass in the house." You know, like we was always outside as kids. Now this generation is all being cooped up in the house. They don't want to do anything like that. They're not adventurous.
100%.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
They
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Con.
phone in their face all the time and everything like that. That's today's society. So as you said, Jay, you know, we need all these new collectors or new readers because bring out better books or try something new or something. But I don't know. I'm all for it. We need that those new readers and stuff like that.
I see a few people once in a while. I'll be at a store and I'll see a guy, like I'm 36, so I'm probably not in the demographic anymore, but I'll see a kid who's like maybe 20 or 19, 20, and then I'll see a younger kid who's like 8 or 9 or 10, even a few years younger than 20-year-old, and he's like, "Oh, what do you like?" And the kid's like, "Oh, I like this," and the guy's like, "Oh, what? That book sucks." It's like, well, we all started from somewhere, you know. I mean, we all maybe didn't. If you think his taste in comics is bad, suggest something. Don't just say, "Well, that sucks. Read this." Say, "Well, if you like that, try this." You know, it's all about how you talk to people, and you know,
right, and make them feel welcomed. Yeah,
exactly, and don't crap on them. They're a fan of the industry. They're going to help make better things for all of us. So even if you think the books they like are a joke, just be like, okay, well, hey, if you like this, you know, like I'm not a Spider-Man fan, but whatever. If you like this, try Spider-Man. He's kind of cool. He's like that. He's a younger kid. He makes mistakes. You know, he's kind of like the guy you like. Try and steer them toward the direction you think they should go to read books. If you think their books aren't good, but don't shit on other collectors. You know, it's just like,
yep.
Really, like I'll only mention it because it's pertinent to the conversation. Like when we talk about enrollment, you don't need the best collection. You just need a collection. So it's the same thing. We're not going to shit on you for having. You know, what do you collect? Oh, I collect I liked all the weird indie titles. That
if you collect Archie comics, good for fucking you, bro. Be passionate about that shit.
Exactly.
Be passionate about it. If that's what you like, bro, and sis, more power to you, right? Because
exactly.
you enjoy it. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but like at work, like everybody knows, like I read comics, and you know what I mean, because I'll be in the lunchroom, you know, on break time, just reading a book or something like that, and they'll be like, "Hey, I just saw the Infinity War movie. Who's Thanos?" That's a
Sit down, son.
That's an open door conversation to get people more interested. And the more I talk to them about it, the more they're like, "Wow, okay." As like, maybe you should pick this up. Or if I have it at home in a trade, I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna lend you this book. Read it." You know, and if you dig Thanos, there's so much else you could read. You like The Punisher? No problem. Here, read this. You know, this is the type of conversations we'll be having. I'm reading the comics here, the comments. Lil Boss said, "I used to get annoyed by people jumping on comics from movies, but now I embrace it because it's made the comic industry that much stronger." And it's true.
100%.
We can't be greedy with this shit, guys. We got to get people interested. We got to get people involved, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to push people to make better content, right? If you don't like the shit Marvel's doing, then get people interested and push them to make better things, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with DC, right? Competition's healthy. You know what I mean? So the more people we get interested in comics, the more comic sales are going to go up, and the more it's going to push these guys to get more creative, to have the better story or the better character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it also starts with the comic shop. All right, how many times have you walked into a comic shop and you got some Momo sitting behind the counter? He doesn't embrace you when you walk in. He doesn't even say hello to you. You know, you could be looking for something. Now, if you're a dude that's never read a comic book in your life, and this is your first time walking into a shop, you know, if you got nobody to help you, why would you want to go back? Who's gonna care? He's just gonna be like, whatever. I couldn't find nothing, and he just gives up, or she gives up. You know, people walk into my shop, they're greeted with a smile. What's up? How you doing? Can I help you with anything? You looking for anything in particular? You know, you don't know where to start? I'm going to point you in the right direction. You know, what kind of stuff you into? You know, do you watch the movies? Oh, you do watch the movies. What movies have you seen? Oh, okay. Boom. Take them to the shelf. Show them a book. Oh, well, you know, I don't want to spend a lot of money and have to come in every week and buy a book to get the whole story. Okay. Let me take you to the trade paperback section. You see, a lot of people, they just totally disregard the trade paperbacks. But if you try to get somebody hooked on a story, give them the whole...
It's one of those things, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Julian.
I said trades are great when trying to bring people in because, as you said, you know, you get a little piece here, little piece there. Give them a whole book. Give them the whole story. Yeah. Get them hooked. Then they'll eventually want to start reading that week per week or 2 weeks or monthly book that they'll wait for the story. They're like, dude, that writer or that artist, I really like their stuff. Yeah. Let's go from there. So dude, get them hooked back and then go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. When
trades are excellent.
No, totally, Conker. Like if you have someone coming in going, oh man, I just watched Batman vs Superman and the two of them fighting. That was awesome. Is that in a book? And it's like, oh, okay. Come here. Sit down on Uncle Chad's lap. Let me learn you about Dark Knight Rises by Frank Miller. Come here. You know, it's time to go to school. It's great. You see a lot of it too in the younger kids. And the parents, I was actually the other day, I was at a Chapters, which is the Canadian version of Barnes & Noble. And this older guy was like, I saw him looking. I could tell he didn't really know what to get. And I was like, oh, you're looking for something for your son or your daughter? He's like, oh, my granddaughter. She's 20. And we just watched the Avengers movie. I was like, okay, does she like a certain character? She's like, no, he likes all of it. So I was like, okay, well, here, try this book, try that book, you know? And she's like, oh, she likes the Joker, I think, or that girl who was with the Joker. I'm like, Harley Quinn. He's like, yeah, that's it. I'm like, hey, try this story, you know? And I was trying to point him in the right direction. I ended up getting like a stack of books, probably 7 or 8 trade paperbacks. And I was like, don't get them all or get them all. But I was like, try it. I was like, these are the ones she'll like. If she's looking for art and story, give her any one of these. And then if she likes it, she'll come back, you know? So...
Right. I mean, there's definitely people hungry for knowledge, right? And I feel like it's all of our jobs to, like, you know, help these guys out. You know, there's a lot of, you know, not just our channel, but there's a lot of channels on YouTube, you know, guys that when I started getting back into comics, I would watch. You know, I'd watch Rob from Comics Explained. I'd watch Comic Drake. You know, I watch guys like that, right, that are so knowledgeable and that could break down a story, break down a character, you know, and I feel like, you know, being a part of this club, you know, that's what we should be doing. You know, being part of the community, that's what we should be doing for others, right? Reaching out to them, explaining things to them, talking to them, encouraging them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, not every story is going to be great, but you know what? It's, you know, more likely than not, you're going to find something that you really enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let us be the guardian 100%. Angels of the comic book realm.
Amen.
You know, if someone were to, you know, message me going, hey, I'm trying to get into comics or anything, what do you recommend? 100%. I'm going to send them in some, you know, or, you know, tell them, hey, what do you like? What do you want? And we can go from there. You know, there's so much that, you know, as you said, where we should be helping the comic community. Let's do that. You know, you know, I'm sure any of these guys that are part of our club that you message us saying, hey, I'm interested in looking into comics or, you know, I've been reading this. Can you recommend something else? I guarantee you we will respond and we will point you in a direction that we think you might like. And hey, if you don't like it, then you don't like it. But hey, you message me. I'll try and point you in the right direction.
Right. We have
Yeah.
a good question from Attila, and you know, I mean, this probably go along the lines of what we're talking about. But he's like, "What's your guys' favorite story?" I'll start with Boogie. Boogie, do you have a favorite like storyline or run that you enjoy?
Um, a recent storyline that I really got into was the Punisher, the Platoon. I was really feeling that storyline. It brought you back to Frank Castle's origin story. You know, back in Nam when he was just slaying bodies, bro. It was awesome. Loving it. So I definitely highly recommend that. It's a short series. I think there's only 6 issues.
Yeah, 6 issues by Garth Ennis, and he slayed it.
Fucking the man, bro.
Yeah,
Absolutely
awesome.
slayed it.
And just to jump off of that, I love Punisher by Garth Ennis. Holy moly, Punisher Max.
Yes, killed it. Like I think,
amazing, bro. I could read that story anytime because it's just so well written. So the art's fantastic. I mean, that probably is one of my favorite Punisher stories. But I was talking to Boogie today, and I asked him, I'm like, "Yo, have you seen Silver Surfer Requiem?" Like, that's a book I'm looking for because the story is so good. Basically, Silver Surfer is dying, right? And he's going around just talking to different heroes, and it's a really sad but well written story. You know, much like the death of Captain Marvel or whatever, but it's just a really good story. It actually got me emotional because I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? And it's just a good story. So yeah, there's definitely good books out there. Chad, I know you read a ton, man. What's one of your favorite stories?
One of my favorite stories. I'll give you 2 really quick ones just because I was thinking about both of them. Marvel, I'm going to go Weapon X by Barry Windsor Smith from the 80s. It's about, it's in Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine from issue 72 to issue 83, I think. So but it's not the full issue. Those issues were only like a quarter of each issue was the story, and then there was other stuff. Right. The trade paperback's like $10. If you're thinking that you might like Wolverine and you want to know about the old school, Barry Windsor Smith, it's still one of the best. It's just his origin story of when he was in the Weapon X program, about how they messed with his mind and just created a killing machine. And if you're like DC, I'll go mid '90s. Kingdom Come by Alex Ross and Mark Waid.
Damn, that's a good one, bro.
Is a 4-part series, and it put Alex Ross's art on the map. And it's such an amazing storyline. It's such amazing art. And it takes place like when Batman and Superman, they're all a little older. They're all in like their 50s or 60s. And the art, obviously, Alex Ross's art is amazing. So those are two ones that I love that you can't put them down once you stop. You got to keep going.
Conquer, brother. What about you? Got a favorite storyline?
You know, I've got a few. And obviously, you know, just like everyone else, Batman Year One was one of my favorite stories. You know, you get to know Batman and what he is and everything. Yeah, it's cliche. Oh yeah, everyone likes Year One, but it was just so damn good. Another one that I really enjoyed. Some people are, I guess, on the fence about it. Is another Batman run by Kevin Smith, Batman Cacophony.
Yes.
And maybe once again I'm biased because anything that Kevin Smith touches, I pick up, I watch, I read, and I'm okay with that. But that story was just so good. So that's probably my like older and my newer. The 2 favorite ones is, you know, yes, once again Batman, and then. They're my probably 2 of my favorites. And then just as a run as a whole, man, Spawn. I love Spawn. Like, I just love it. It's one of my favorite stories, just the whole thing. From 1 to what we're up to
290 now. 290.
290. So come this time next year, there's probably going to be like 50 variants for issue 300. I'm guessing, because that's just the way they do things. But man, 2 smaller. You know what? Year One's 4 books, Cacophony's 6, and then as a whole series as a whole, Spawn for me.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah, so that's pretty. That's it. That's it. And I mean, like I said, it's, some stories are hit or miss, but there's a lot more good than there is bad. You just have to look for it. And thankfully with like trades, with omnis, with like hardcovers, they're out there. You could find them. You could read them.
Hell yeah.
I remember picking up The Killing Joke the first time. I picked it up on a hardcover, and just out for the recommendation of a friend, and I'm like, whoa, this shit is serious shit. You know what I mean? And the story was great, and I really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's just out there. You have to find it. And if you guys ever want to hit us up and ask us like, hey, what should I read? Just do so. What I mean? We're always going to have a recommendation for you guys. We're always going to be able to give you a lending hand and see what we could do for you as far as like, giving you some insight on things we love to read, Sweet. Good.
Yeah, there's lots of different, all of us, like there's 57 members, and everybody, we're all going to have overlapping people we like, but at the same time, we're all going to like different things. So each guy will have like, those like J and J, they like Punisher. I don't really read Punisher, but I might pick it up. I know, Ink Jedi likes Flash, or Doctor Doom. So each guy has their and Conquer like Spawn. Each guy will have their favorite thing. So you're going to get a variety. So if you hit a bunch of people up and just get a whole smorgasbord of suggestions, and then go to town.
Hell yeah! And I mean, even in the comments here, Denthead Comics, he made a good point too. Like, there's even a ton of stuff out there that's not superhero related that you can get into, man.
Oh, dude, Image has so many non-hero superhero
so
books.
Many, dude, and they're good stories, dude. Like horror, you got horror, you got comedy. I mean, you drama, you name it, it's there. I mean, that's the beauty about books in general. It's a world that is still undiscovered.
Yeah.
You can get anywhere you want, dude. Like, you don't even need to have an imagination. You can go off of the imagination of who wrote the book. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why more people don't read. I really don't. I don't know if it's laziness or what, or maybe just lack of knowledge. I don't know.
If you need to have a phone in your hand, get the digital one. Get the digital comic and read it from your phone or your tablet, man.
100%. Boogie, you mentioned horror, and you guys listening, if you guys haven't started reading, there's 6 issues out so far, I believe.
Gideon
if you
Falls?
haven't read Gideon Falls, holy shit.
Yeah, that's a mind trip.
Exactly. It's a mind trip that is an excellent horror story. It's probably one of the best horror stories that I've read in a while, too. So, if you guys haven't read it, hit it up, really. It's so far 6 issues of incredible
gore.
Yeah.
I remember they had a Goon Volume 1, like, just hardcover, and I'm like, let me pick it up. And I began reading it, and I couldn't put it down. Like, holy shit, the Goon is really fucking good.
He's a beast.
Oh, yeah.
The story's
is killer.
Yeah, the story's amazing. You have the zombie priest, and the Goon's kind of like just running shit, but then you learn about his backstory, and you're like, this is fucking really well written. The art is fantastic. I mean, definitely a good read. The Goon is slowly becoming one of my favorite books just to start reading. It made me want to pick up the rest of the volumes just so I could have them. And that's like, so some people are like for example, like Iron Fist just came out. I love that it has the whole season because I'd hate waiting for the next. Sometimes I'm like that with my comics. If I want to read something, I'd rather pick up a trade or Omni, and that way I could just have it all, at one sitting if I feel like it.
So, with you saying that, what do you think of the new DC platform that's coming out? Because with the new DC platform, they are doing episodes once a week.
Oof. I might not. It's either this. It's either I'll watch it every episode, or I'll just wait for the whole thing to come out.
I get you there.
There's going to be a lot of stuff. What I do like is that they'll have a digital comic service. So if I wanted to read a run in one sitting, I can. So that'll hold me over until they get the rest of the show out. That's just how I watch stuff. I just not even. Well, they do have a comic about it, but Sons of Anarchy. I stopped watching it the third season because I just didn't want to wait till the next week. So I just stopped watching it altogether. And when the new season came out, I marathoned it. So that's just how I like to watch it. You know what I mean? I hate waiting to find out what happens next. But I'll do it if I really, really have to, like, watching Minds MC or whatever. But I really enjoy getting my fill in during that one sitting. So if I want to read half the book, I could put it back, but at least I know the rest of the story is there when I want to finish it.
Yeah, definitely. And it all depends on who owns the rights and who's making it. Because if you look at, there's shows on Netflix that aren't Netflix created. That Netflix has a partnership with a TV studio, so they'll release a weekly episode on Netflix, and then when they own the property, you get the whole season. So I wouldn't be surprised, like with DC's Titans or whatever, if season one, I think it'll be well received, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking over the course of the season and going, okay, every month we got like 1 million people watching each episode. But then at the end of the year, when we put the whole season was available for people, boom, we were getting like 20 million people watching it because they all wanted to wait till it's binge. I'm just using fake numbers, but I'm just saying,
right, though.
They look at that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if DC I wouldn't be surprised if DC went, you know what, whatever, we'll copy the Marvel model or the Netflix model, and let's just release the whole season at once because we get the best bang for our buck. Because if some people will be like, well, I'll wait. And then eventually, if there's nothing else they like, and that's the other thing too, is if there's nothing else they like, they're like, okay, well, I'm not going to get a subscription this month. I'll get the 1 month subscription next month or 2 months from now when the whole season's available. I'll buy it. It's still worth it because I get the month for $10. I get the whole show, which would cost me $30 of a DVD or a Blu-ray. So it's still a deal to buy just for that 1 month, just to be able to binge the season. So. I'll be really.
Chad, you really thought that out very well.
Well, I'd be really surprised because I think that's why I think Netflix works so well because they release those things all at once because they know people, because they don't want to wait around or they don't want to have it spoiled. So you're like, well, I'm just going to binge it, or I'll it's there and they don't want to get caught up in whatever. I think DC will change it depending. I could be wrong, but.
The good thing about Netflix, it allows everyone to watch what they want at their pace.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, as you said, Jay, you like to, and Chad, you're probably right. DC might change that after the first show of Teen Titans because they realize, okay, we're not getting the numbers we were wanting for this. Now let's see what happens when we release Swamp Thing as a whole season, and who knows?
Well, I think in the beginning, their numbers are going to be out the roof, just for the simple fact that everybody wants to see what it's all about. Everybody's waiting, like, when are they going to do this? When are they going to do this? Like, I can't wait anymore. So as soon as that shit drops, I think their numbers are going to be astronomical. But will they stay at the top like that? I don't know. I don't, not for nothing. I mean, what do you people think out there? Drop it in the comments. Do you guys like to binge watch, or would you rather watch episode by episode? I mean, me personally, I'm with Ink. I'd rather binge watch. Just take a Saturday night, sit on the couch in my underwear, and watch a whole season.
There's a sight.
I'm both. If it's on TV, like normal TV, I'll watch watch the episode every week.
Right.
Yeah. Or I'll PVR it.
But that's because you have no choice.
No, it's true.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When it's an actual like Netflix show, like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, I binge the shit out of that.
Right.
So and I guess when it comes to TV show, like I'll wait, like. And I guess this comes down to I probably prefer binging more than anything, is because like with Green Arrow and stuff like that, I'll wait 2 or 3 episodes, then watch it, and then wait, and then watch it. I'm not going to wait for the whole season, but I'll still wait here and there.
Right, to check it out.
Yeah.
Like, my thing is, too, like, with TV, like, they'll be like, stay tuned for clips of this season. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to stay tuned.
Right.
Because you're going to show me some shit, and I'll be super hyped. I'm like, nah, I can't wait 10 weeks or 12 weeks to, like, get to see what I want to see. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. I'm doing it right now for the minds because I just really like Sons of Anarchy, and I kind of just want to stay in the loop. But, like, for example, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and shows like Arrow and The Flash, I've never watched them, when they were just on TV. I'd wait for the season to come on Netflix, then I'll just watch whatever I want to watch at my own time, my own pace,
right.
things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife knows. Like, she'll even know. She's like, "Oh, is that show you like coming on Netflix? I think I saw something from." Like, yeah, this weekend, Daredevil season 3's out. Don't talk to me. I don't exist for the next 3 days. Just like I'm busy.
It's true though. Shit. I don't even have cable. I refuse to pay for cable. It's a waste of freaking money. Because like Ink said, I'd rather binge. So why am I going to even pay for something to watch episode by episode? I wait for that whole season to be done, and I either watch that shit on Showbox or I watch it on Netflix. Usually Showbox because it's on Showbox before Netflix. Netflix, you gotta wait like a whole year for a season to come out. I think they release it when the new season comes out.
Yeah, I get you there. I guess I keep cable mainly for sport, and then
same.
There's some things that I don't know what Showbox is, but there's some things that the wife watches that don't show up on Netflix.
I got TMN for HBO for Game of Thrones. I can't wait for that. I gotta watch that every week. So all those good HBO shows, can't wait.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, they're all on Showbox.
We don't have Showbox in Canada, okay?
It's an app on your phone. You could have it if you wanted to.
No. That's okay. I'll support a giant conglomerate like TMN. They need the money.
Oh, man. So, yesterday was 9/8, aka CGC Day. I personally never heard of CGC Day. So, can someone here please explain what that is?
Yeah, it was made up.
Oh, good. All right. End of discussion. Moving on to the next topic.
It's true. I think some Momo was just like, oh, it's September 8th, 9.8. Get it? Let's make it CGC Day. And everybody went nuts with it.
So this was just a thing that happened.
Great marketing idea. That's all I saw on my Instagram all day long with CGCs.
Yeah,
it's something CGC themselves posted. I think on the 7th or something they posted, "Hey, guess what? Tomorrow's CGC Day."
Yeah,
and it was like, all right, cool. Let's do that. And even I really haven't checked out Instagram today, but even some of the comic book pages I follow on Facebook, we're doing 9.9, because it's 9/9, so they were showing their 9.9. So yeah, it's a great thing for CGC showing marketing wise, but it's just a fun way for everyone to show their books.
PGX is going to do January, February, March.
PGX is they're gonna have a guest degrade day, and it'll be completely wrong.
Yeah. Can you authenticate this signature?
Yeah, sure. Good. It's good. I compared it to a Google picture. It's fucking mint.
It's fucked up. We're laughing about it, but it's true.
Yeah, bro.
Those Fiend guys are onto something.
Wow, those Fiend guys are super smart. Just take that.
Yeah, we're all gonna get sued.
Hey, Jedi, you want to be an authenticator? Yeah, good. We use Google. Fuck, man. But yeah, dude, CGC Day was fun. We had a bunch of people on the club page posting up their 9/8 books.
We had some people putting some fire down too.
Oh, absolutely. I know a guy here that could do a 9/10 day if he wanted to.
He could.
He definitely
with one book.
With one book.
But it's such a nice book.
Oh,
who's that?
You fool.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
You have a gem mint 10, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Super rare, bro.
You fool. What is there? There's only 4 in the census of that book.
Is there?
5.
Yeah.
5.
Oh, 5 now.
But you have a Back to the Future one too, right? It's a 9/9. or 10?
Yeah, I posted that yesterday, actually. Yeah.
That's fucking money, bro. That's money.
Signed by Bob Layton.
I mean, do you guys know how CGC goes about grading their books? I mean, I think that's something not a lot of people know. Like, how do they grade
It's paid
their
for a
books?
grade process.
Oh, you just slip them a couple extra loonies?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, guys, stop bashing them.
Never. Boogie's like, they still have my book, guys. Let's not talk
Yeah.
shit.
Shut the fuck up! You're gonna get my shit burned, bro.
You're gonna have to celebrate 6-5 day,
I
bro.
know, right?
And I mean, come on now. You know, we're trying to go for sponsorships now. So you know,
Absolutely.
let's be nice.
All right, we'll try. We're too real. We're too real.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Just CGC rejects every book, and then CBCS, so we're stuck with PGX.
Yup. Every time somebody from the club submits a book, they're gonna be like, "Oh, Fiend Club, whoop, Fiend Club, whoop," just throwing them out the window.
It was then that the Fiends knew they fucked up.
What was that company? That grading company, Halo or whatever it was fucking called? We'll have to go to them.
They're based out of Australia or something like that.
Oh, there you go. Okay, well, we're gonna go work for them.
That's it.
Yeah,
You got
like
a job.
shit.
Oh man.
Got some fucking half-naked dumbass kangaroo grading my book.
Damn, dude. You know that's just not gonna be graded great at all. What else we have on here? Enrollment. Enrollment's coming really, really soon. It's gonna be here before you guys know it. Let's talk about enrollment. I know we've been talking about it every show, but it's super important because we still have people asking questions to things we have already answered. So we have to keep talking about it because we want to make sure you guys are doing everything correctly. For example, my first time enrolling, I fucked up, and I didn't really pay attention to what was being said, so I wasn't allowed in. But the second time around, I gone. So I had to wait. I had to wait another few months, and I finally got in. So I'm gonna throw it to Boogeyman. Boogie, let's talk about enrollment a little bit. Take it away, sir.
All right, enrollment. So I wonder if I should get like Funk Flex right now to like drop bombs and like start scratching records because I feel like a broken record at this point. But no, open enrollment October 1st. That's when it starts. Okay, you're gonna start submitting applications. If you have a private account, no need to apply. If your page is mostly a seller page, you have raffles all over it. There's no real personal pics. You have no pics of your collection. No need to apply. If you're a douchebag, no need to apply. And being a douchebag is not being a douchebag is very, very important. I'm holding people to my standard now about being a douchebag, but that's another story. So, we like to keep ourselves on the pedestal of being a drama-free organization. Okay? Don't get me wrong. We're one big happy family. There's going to be plenty of drama within the family to argue about and kick each other in the dick about. So we don't want no outside drama. Okay? If you're an idiot, if you're bashing people on the internet, if you're doing bad deals, bad sales, bad trades, if people don't have anything good to say about you, no need to apply. We don't want you here. I mean, and I'm not trying to be harsh, I'm trying to be real. Okay? Every single member of this club, we may not talk every day. Some of us don't have like the best relationship with each other. But when we do talk, it's like we're brothers and sisters. We argue, we joke, okay? When there's a problem and we need help, we reach out to each other, we're there. If that's something that you can't be a part of, if you're looking at that and saying, that's just too much for me, then don't apply. Don't apply just to get the cool patch on a vest. Okay? Because it's way more than just a patch on a vest, dude. Okay? Like, people take this shit seriously. And we want you to take it seriously.
Right.
Simple.
And just remember, man, when you're wearing this logo, when you're wearing this patch, you're speaking for the group. You're speaking for all of us. So we're gonna
100%.
want someone that's just respectful. Like, we're not here to say we're better than the community. No, we are the community. If anything, we should hold ourselves to a higher standard, right? We want to represent our community, our comic community, in the best way we know how. So being honest, helping one another out, helping each other find books, tagging each other. I have people tagging me in books that I'm looking for all the time, and that's just because we want to help each other out. You know what I mean? So not even just within the club, but in the community in general. We want to have a good relationship with everyone, not just within ourselves. So that's super important to us. It's important that we are on a different level, right? Where we're different, that we have this microscope on us. We want to make sure that we're representing this community with respect. And that's the most important thing. So if you guys have drama, if you guys have nonsense, man, square that shit away. Make it right. Things happen, but just make it fucking
free.
Yeah, no. When you get a group of people this big, we're a huge collective of personalities and likes and interests and ethics and that sort of thing. So you got to learn to work together with people. You got to learn what people like and how to talk to people. It's not just, hey, we're all buddies, cool, because we all like comics. No. You got to learn. You got to work towards it. It's something to work. You got to make it better. You got to work at it, because you can get a bunch of guys. You can get 3-4 guys together, and they're like, oh, we all like comics, cool. But you might not. Down the road, things are going to happen. And me and Jay have gotten arguments. Me and Boogie have gotten arguments. And you got to work towards it, because at the end of the day, we're all fans of the hobby, So you just got to try to. If people are throwing shade at you for some reason, just don't try to don't try to take it so personally. Some people will. They'll keep hammering you, but like I said, we try to stay drama free. We try to back each other up, and it's all like I said. I forget if it was Boogie or Jay. We are like a real family here, because we'll shit talk each other. But at the end of the day, like me and Jay, he was busting my balls last night about something I said, and then we were going back and forth, and then he's like, oh, unfortunately his wife had to go to the hospital, and I was like, okay, is she okay, bro? Like, let us know if you need help, man. Like when serious stuff interjects, we're all like, okay, well, never mind that stupid shit we're bitching about.
Yeah.
Are you okay? You need help? You need to do anything? What's up? If you need help, let us know. Give us a call, give us a text, email, whatever, right? So that's what this group is about, is helping, is loving the comic books, but then you build like a family, because no matter what it is, for the most part, we know we can separate the bullshit from the trash talk and all the other crap. So it's a great place. It's a great place to be. So just like Jay said, you just no drama. You follow the rules, and if you do that and you talk and you ask questions, you'll do good and you'll get along with everybody, Yeah.
Julian, bro, anything you want to add, bro?
Not really. You guys pretty much covered it. We are a family. Yeah, even families, like, we don't get along. You can't pick and choose family, but yes, you can in this situation. But October 1,
yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that we go through a process. It's not going to be you apply October 1 and come October 2 or 3, hey, you're going to know if you're in or not. No, it's a process, but it's worth every bit of it. We are a family, and especially, you guys mentioned last week or the week before, now that we've got, a Canadian and an international chapter, we really do want to expand. We want to make this, we want to make this as global as we can. And we understand that time zones and all that other stuff don't always get along, but we make stuff work. We are a family, and that's exactly what this club is about. We're about family.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. A good question. Who's that? Skaska too? I say that right? The question was, what makes this club different from other clubs? And the first answer is one, we were the first of its kind. Right? We were established in 2015, and now it's 2018. We've got to work out a lot of bugs. It's It's not easy, but the biggest defining aspect that separates us from anything else that's out there is the fact that this isn't the kind of club that you can just show up, sign your name on a piece of paper, and be like, I'm in, I'm a member. Like, you're applying to this, and we're taking a lot of time to vet you. There's going to be every single member in this club looking at you, studying you, getting to know you, reading all of your answers to your application. You're going to be talking to everybody. Like, if whoever applies to this club thinks that it's as simple as messaging somebody, and you think because you put up a couple of posts and some hashtags that's it, my work's done and I'm in, you're horribly wrong. Because you haven't even scratched the surface yet. And that's why we are who we are. Because this is an exclusive family. It's the comic book Fiend Club. Because that name sounds cool. But it should be called the family. Because that's what it is. We're not just a group of assholes with a vest on. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that separates us. Another thing that separates us is that some social clubs out there, if they're in a big group and they're in an event or a get together, some of these guys are acting like assholes. They start fights. They're bashing and shit talking other social clubs like they're God's gift to the social club. Yeah. We try not to be like that, man. We don't start no drama. We damn sure will finish it, but we ain't starting no drama. Don't start none, won't be none. That's my motto.
And it's one of those things that, like, we're not in a bubble, right? So, for example, we're going to Baltimore. We're coming with stickers. We're coming with pins. We're coming with cards. Come say what's up. Come roll with us. Come hang out with us. Let's talk shop. Let's have a good time. Let's take pictures. Not a lot of people want to do that. Not a lot of people. When we say we're a part of the community, we're a part of this comic community. The IG comic family is one big community, and we're all a part of it. So don't think that we're just in this bubble. No, we want to interact with everyone. We're already going to meet a couple of people down in Baltimore. I'm really looking forward to it. A couple of guys from Instagram. There's times where I'll go to a show and I'll see some guys from the IG comic family, and we'll chop it up. Please do that. We're not there to try to have a presence or look cool or look tough. Nah, we're there to have a good time. We're there to laugh. We're there to get some books. We're there to get to know you. You know what I mean? So don't ever be shy. If you come to us, hey, you guys with the Comic Book Fiend Club, how's it going? My name's blah, blah, blah. We're going to interact with you. We're going to talk to you. We're going to tell you, come on, let's roll. You know what I mean? I don't ever feel like this is a group that you can't approach, because we want to be the most approachable people, in the community. So don't ever feel like shy or afraid or intimidated. No, come say what's up. We're gonna bust your balls, but that's just how we are. What I mean? We like to joke, we like to have a great time, and we want to hang out with everyone. So, again, it's a lot different in that aspect than other social clubs, because a lot of social clubs are closed off. They don't want to interact with the community. They don't want to talk to others. That's the complete opposite of us. What I mean? There's times we'll see other social clubs where we're out. We'll say what's up to them, because it's not about like crews. It's not about anything like that. It's about sharing a common love, right? So that's what we want to make sure we stress to everyone.
As you said, we are a part of the comic book, the IG or the comic book community. It is a community. As you said, we see other people out in other clubs or just other IG members, and we know who they are. We're coming up to talk to you. Like it's my first convention I went to as a member of the Fiend Club was C2E2 this year, and the amount of people that would come up to us and talk to us and stuff, like that was awesome. Hey, I'm this person from Instagram. We had people come up to us, and like another Midwest member, Booty, they'd come up to us, hey, you're Booty Meatson from Instagram, and you're Conker76 from Instagram. That's how they knew us. It wasn't necessarily our names. They knew us because of our posts and our tags. So, like it is. We are a family, and yeah, we will talk to you. We will continually talk to you. if you come up to us at clubs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not a gang. We're a social club.
No, exactly.
Chad, man, anything you want to add?
I think we've covered it all. Just trying to think, most of us are cool to, chill to talk to, and we're ready to answer questions. I feel like I feel in April, I thought it felt like there was a lot more people, at least from maybe it's because I'm not technically in the East chapter anymore. I'm part of the Canadian chapter. But Canadians, man, yeah, feel free to talk to all of us, and to hit on something Boogie said. When I applied, when I got the questionnaire, I made a joke to the president, who's still our president, was to Steve, to Bataholic, and I was like the first question, and I was like, I wrote him a little, like 2 or 3 sentences answer for the first one. I said, don't worry, that'll be my longest answer. And I said, no, just kidding, that will be my shortest answer. And like every answer I gave him, I wasn't trying to write an essay, but I was just trying to give a nice, like a real explanation. Don't give us one-word answers. Don't give us who's your favorite character and why? Wolverine because he's cool. Well, you're right, but why? Why is he cool? What do comics mean to you? Give heartfelt answers, because we can tell. You can tell. Even a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't tell what people mean." I get that in some instances. If you're in a text message or whatever group, sometimes what people said or what they wrote reads the wrong way. But when you're asking someone a question, you can tell if it's half-assed. You can tell if they're just like, "Oh, this, that." So put your heart into it. Put what you actually feel into it. We're not going to laugh at you. No one's going to read this and go, this fucking guy. Look at this guy wrote. What an idiot. I talked to him about how when I was a kid and I was a real fat kid, and people used to make fun of me and stuff. I loved how Wolverine was like kind of like me. I said this before, because he was a short guy. He's a small.
Chad.
Oh man. Okay.
Got him.
No, but I was just saying, I wrote how Wolverine's always looked as the small runt, and everybody thinks he can't do anything, or at least the enemies who don't know him yet going, he can't do anything, and the guys who do know him are like, yo, you need to check yourself there, because this dude's gonna kick your ass. So, give real answers, and that's what we're looking for, is people who are honest and want to be with us. Don't. Oh, maybe I'll join. Maybe it's a cool thing to do. It's like, no. We want you to want to be here, and we can tell when you want to be here. So, right. Just be real,
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't join for the wrong reason, man.
Yeah.
Make it a good reason. Really,
don't join just because we have openings.
Right.
Right.
What's funny is that even when it's not open enrollment, when I get messages from people that are inquiring about joining, and it's nowhere near open enrollment, those are the people that you can tell they want to be a part of this.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not just and let that be known. If you don't get in this time around, or let's say you don't get in next time around, that doesn't mean that you just stop hitting us up. Hit us up, talk to us.
Yeah. And remember too is sorry Jay, keep going.
No, go for it, bro.
No, I was just gonna say, because I wanted to touch on your point before I forgot about it, is don't think that we don't like you or don't think you're good enough to join. We cap every enrollment. We only say all the presidents, vice presidents, they get together and they're saying, okay, how many guys do we want to let in? How many guys do you think? And they usually come to an arrangement or to an agreement going, okay, how about we'll cap it at this. And the fall enrollment is typically the larger enrollment than the spring. But if you don't get in, and even if you don't get in, say 2 times in a row, don't think it's because you're not good enough or we don't like you. There might have been someone, there might have been guys ahead of you that didn't get in the last 2, 3, or 4 times, and this was their time to get in, and you might get in the next time. So don't get discouraged, and keep talking to us, because I'll tell you right now, there are 4 or 5 guys in the spring, who were hitting me up too, especially with a month before enrollment started. I haven't had one of them talk to me yet, but I'll see on October 1st. It's like, hey, what's going on? It's like, well, I get maybe you're busy, but you got to keep in contact, and don't just show up on the first day of enrollment.
Right. Right. And to touch on that point that Chad said also is that a little insider secret, okay? This enrollment, we're going to be looking at applications, and we make a list. You know, like Chad said, we get capped on how many people we can bring in. But there's a secondary list that we say, you know what? These are the people we're going to give a second look at during our next enrollment. You know, and then during that enrollment, we make another list. Like, you know what? When enrollment comes back up next year, we're going to look at these guys too, and we're going to keep tabs on them and see what happens with them. Are they going to continue on that ball?
Yep.
You know, and people, you know, I wanted to tell people that because I don't want people to get discouraged and say, you know, oh, I didn't get in, you know, fuck these guys, and then just start talking shit and being mad about it. You know, there's a reason why you didn't get in, you know, and like Chad said, it's not because we don't like you, or it could be because we didn't like you. I mean, you know, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know until the time is right.
I agree. All right.
Yeah.
So we're winding down here. Just gonna plug a few things before we go.
Which ones? Which holes?
Turn around.
All of them.
So Baltimore, woo! Ton of the East Coast guys are heading to Baltimore Comic Con at the end of the month, September 28th through the 30th. Is that right? So we're gonna be there. We're gonna be in the con. We'll be suited and booted. If you see us, please come up to us, because a lot of times we don't know who everyone is in the IG community. See us, come say what's up. Let's hang out. You know, we'll be there, you know, every day of the show, from morning till close. Yeah, so just make sure you please come say what's up to us. Julian, do you have any cons coming up around your way anytime soon?
No, I don't. And you know, the big one for Kansas City is the last weekend of March. So that's forever away. And then, you know, the next one that I 100% am going to is, you know, not necessarily a Comic-Con. It's, you know, before comics, I was a Star Wars person. So next one I'm going to, like, definitely going to is Star Wars Celebration in Chicago in April.
Yep.
So that's a 5-day con this year. So
holy shit.
And that,
yeah,
it's that's a con that happens every other year, right? In the States,
they do a year in Europe, a year in the States, a year. Yeah, so they go back and forth between Europe and the US.
That's cool.
So this year, it's the first time it's been in the Midwest in forever.
Right, because they were doing it in Florida, right?
Florida and California.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So they announced the Midwest, and I was like, I'm going.
And C2E2 is in the same convention center like the week after, right?
It was. It was going to be the week before, or 2 weeks before, but the C2E2 changed their date, and it's now going to be 3 weeks before.
Wow.
So
there you go.
Because when C2E2 announced their dates for next year at this year's con, originally it was going to be on the same weekends as obviously C2E2, Planet Comic Con, which is Kansas City's con, and then WonderCon. All three were going to be on the same weekend. So C2E2 is the only one so far that has announced a date change, which is smart on their point, because I know for Kansas City, next year's the 20th anniversary. So you've got three, and C2 and Planet for Kansas City is getting bigger and bigger every year.
Right.
I think this year, I think there was 90,000 people. So you have three major cons all vying for the same celebrities and artists and comics, you know, artists and writers. You know, you're going to have a hell of a time actually getting people. So I think for C2E2 is extremely smart changing their dates.
Absolutely. All right. Awesome, dude. So Baltimore. What else? Oh, Joelle Jones. I'm going to be doing an interview with her. It's going to be pre-recorded, so it won't be live on YouTube. It's going to be a pre-recorded interview. Planning on interviewing her September 27th. And then hopefully have the podcast up That'll be a standalone podcast for that week. We'll probably have 2 podcasts. We'll have our regular Fiend cast, and then I'll have the interview with Joel Jones. I will try to post it before I head out to Baltimore on Friday morning with the wife. So that we're looking forward to. Please, if you guys have anything you want us to ask, please send us a message in our Instagram DM or our Twitter DM or our Facebook DM. Definitely we'll like to bring these questions to her and ask them to her. And we want to ask everybody to just please subscribe to our iTunes channel. Still working on Google Play. I'm going to create this iCloud channel as well, so you can download it and listen to it on the go. So that's what's coming up. And then also on September 16th, about next week, we'll have Comics NV on the cast. We'll be talking to him. He's a big member of the IG comic community. Definitely one of the OGs. So we'll have him on Talk Shop. Boogie, do you have any announcements? Anything to add?
And you pretty much hit everything right on the head, dude. I'm looking forward to Baltimore. I'm hoping to see a lot of people out there. So, if you see me out there, holla at your boy, scream out Boogeyman. Just don't sneak up on me. I can't be responsible for what I do if you sneak up on me.
And keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes open to the Instagram page. We'll be going live over there plenty of times. So please keep your eye on that. We'll be making a video chronicling our journey. We'll be trying to talk to some guests and get into
my journal too. I'm gonna read my journal.
I'm gonna read Boogie's journal next week
live poetry reading on the front steps.
Dear
Roses are red.
I had a chili dog today with the Jedi.
I was shitting my pants the whole ride home.
That place was great. We went to this little hot dog spot called the Hot Grill. They had some really good chili dogs.
Yeah, Hot Grill in Clifton. Go check them out.
Sweet. All right. So
roses are red, violets are blue. Sent out a 9.4. PGX gave me back a 9.2.
Oh man, PGX. Anyway, so with that, guys, we're gonna sign off. Thank you guys for joining us today on the chat. Thank you, Boogie. Thank you, Conquer. Thank you, Canadian Geek, for joining us. Make sure you hit up our Instagram at Comic Book Fiend Club, our Facebook Comic Book Fiend Club, our Twitter CB Fiend Club, and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't. Leave a like, and that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. Take care. Peace.
Peace.
Condolences to the Steeler fans out there.